So first of all, I wonder if you could compare the Patriot missile system to the air defense systems that Ukraine is already relying on, particularly old Soviet-made ones, but ones that have been supplied to them by NATO partners in recent months. Is this a major upgrade in terms of technology?
Yes, it is. Well, one of the things, Jim, is that it uses what's called a phased array radar. So what that means is the Patriot system can actually hone in on a target using multiple beams without changing the antenna configuration. They don't have to move the antennas. They don't have to do anything like that. A lot of the systems that the Ukrainians have right now, whether they're the old Soviet era system or newer systems from NATO countries, they are basically designed, in some cases at least, to be less reliant on technology and more physically reliant. So what that would mean is that those systems would require the physical movement of antennas so that they can then determine where the missiles are. So it's a much more complex undertaking that the Ukrainians have right now. The Patriot system will overcome that if it's deployed to Ukraine.
Yeah. A lot of countries depend on it. Countries in the Middle East, for instance, U.S. partners as a defense against Iranian missiles. I wonder, this is a massive and expanding Russian air and missile assault on Ukraine, and particularly the targets in recent weeks have been on infrastructure that impact the lives of civilians. That's deliberate here. How many of these systems, given that this is the largest country in Europe, does Ukraine need to make a dent in Russia's air war?
That's a really interesting question. Generally, what you want to do, Jim, is if you deploy the Patriot system, you want to deploy it to the areas that you want to defend most. So it would be logical for the Ukrainians to deploy it around Kyiv, for example, and around cities like Dnipro and perhaps the newly liberated Kherson, certainly around Kharkiv, any of the areas where they want to protect their infrastructure, which, generally speaking, mean the entire country in the ideal way. A lot of people compare the Patriot system to the Iron Dome system that the Israelis have. The Iron Dome is based in on Patriot technology, but Israel has a much less of a surface area to worry about than Ukraine does. Ukraine's about the size of Texas, and it's really impossible to defend the whole country. So you want to pick the targets that you want to protect. You want to make sure that you protect air bases, that you protect government installations and population centers. So that would be where they would deploy that. How many? You're probably looking at somewhere between, if I were doing this, around 5 to 10 batteries of that type, but that would be a pretty big order, and that would be, somewhere around a $10 billion commitment if we went, maximum with the Patriot deployment of that sort.
As you know better than me, war is about adjustments. Each side adjusts to the other side as they change tactics and weapons and so on. And one adjustment Russia has made is to bring in these Iranian-made and supplied drones. And they've had devastating effect on civilian targets and infrastructure in Ukraine. Would the Patriot missile system be effective against those drones?
Yes, generally speaking, it would. Of course, it depends on the specific type of Patriot system that would. There are different models, but the system is capable of downing drones. It has been used by the Israelis to down Hamas-based drones. It has been used in other conflicts, like the conflict with the Houthis in Yemen, between Saudi Arabia and the Houthis. So it can be used for that purpose. And of course, the Houthis have used Iranian drones as well. So there is some operational significance here and some operational history with these types of weapons, and it can be used in that way.
Cedric Leighton, thanks so much for breaking it down.